Well, hello, my YouTube friends. So let's talk about poetry for a moment. I have some small experience with poetry. I'll show you some of my original work here. There's no copyright infringement because I wrote these. I used to go on Tumblr and scroll through Tumblr and see a lot of pictures, and I would reply to the picture in the comment with a short poem. So you'll have to kind of imagine what I was looking at when I wrote these. Here's one. Possessed by the dragon demon, my lungs filled with fire. At night, you can hear me screaming. You can call me dire. So yeah, it was a wolf, a dire wolf. Let's see what we got here. Got a few other ones, like this one. A rising tide, a setting sun. I sit beside my number one. And I had developed a kind of a friendship with another person, and we'd talk back and forth in the comments, and I was trying to tell her not to worry about what people say, don't worry about, and I was trying to put together a poem. I don't give a damn what people say. Take no heed to what people say. Ignore the opinions of man. Make God smile on Judgment Day. And it wasn't coming out right. And I, for one, don't give a damn what people say. You can see I scratched out a bunch of right here. No thought given to opinions of man. Only need a smile on Judgment Day. Or I for one don't give a damn what people say. No thought given the opinions of man. Only need a smile. And I never did finish that one. I never could really get it going. Let's try this one. Hold on a second. The chilly autumn breeze and early setting sun. The air begins to freeze. The season's almost done. My garden's final rose fights against the frost, surviving in the cold, no matter what the cost. Blood-red drop of color, there for all to see. The honeybee will hover, one last meal to eat, till at last the petals, damaged with frostbite, on the dirt they settle for the long, dark winter's night. Next we have Ode to Princess Leia, a one-time leader of a rebel insurrection, a troubled young woman who earned our affection, struggled for a time to find her direction. Now she's at peace and awaits resurrection. So I wrote that last one shortly after Carrie Fisher's passing, but I'll leave you with a cuter one. You'll have to imagine the image yourself. I asked a dragon for a ride, based upon a hunch. First he had to decide if I would be his lunch. Okay, so you'll believe me if I tell you that I know a thing or two about poetry. So again, I went back, I looked at Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town, because when I heard it, it just went so perfectly with F around and find out. And I saw a video where the content creator stated that Aldean was not listed as a writer on that song. But of course he had to read it and and agree with it, presumably, and sing it. So I took a closer look at the chorus and the title, and I started counting characters. So there's total 24 characters in it. Then I laid out the title, I laid out F around and find out. They both have 24 characters. Now in Twitter style, I used counted the space as a character, right? Because they have a different number of words. And I made this scale, and this scale has 24 spaces. Okay, it's 8 by 3. And I laid it out so the two sentences have the same number of characters, 24. And if you go so you divide it in half, 12 and 12. So try that in F around, same number of syllables, because try that in, each word has one syllable, F has one syllable, around has two syllables, A and round. If you look in the dictionary, I was going to show a photo of the dictionary page. Okay, and then you look over here, same number of syllables, a small town, all one syllable, and find out, all one syllable. Town and out, they're both OU, although town is OW. Okay, people forget that W is two U's, double U. So they're both OU, they both have the same pronunciation, the same sound, they rhyme. And if you divide them both in half, right, here's your 4 by 3, that's 12. You got 4 by 3 over here. They both end with a space, and then they both begin, if you begin right there, a small town, and find out. So songwriting can be about poetry. A lot of songs, if you just took the words, it would be a poem. And there was it Twins, when Danny DeVito and his girlfriend but the girlfriend was talking to her friend, and she goes, that's a song, that's a lyrics from a song, and the girlfriend was like, yeah, I know, but it's so cute that he did that. So songwriting and poetry have a lot in common, and I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on my previous review and comments of Jason Aldean's song, and show you a little bit of my poetry. There's a lot more where this came from, but in any event, hold on a second and we'll get the verse of the day. Okay, so what we have here is a Bible, and it's perhaps a favorite Bible I own. I got a few Bibles, and this Bible, although it appears heavily damaged, you would be correct. It's heavily damaged. This Bible, I have the copyright page framed, and I have several pages framed. We'll talk about that in a different video. So this Bible was printed in 1854. And if Bibles could talk, if it could tell you what it has seen since 1854, it would be an amazing story. I mean, look at this thing. It is beautiful. Yes, it shows the rigors of time, but it makes me think of the Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, look at this thing. It is just gorgeous. I mean, I bought this at a estate sale, and the second I saw it in the garage on one of the folding tables amongst a bunch of other stuff, I snapped it up immediately. I didn't even look for a price or anything. I just grabbed it. And I forget how much I paid for it, not much. Bibles really aren't that expensive, unless it's one of the, like the earliest known Bibles. And you can see those on Pawn Stars sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to flip through this, and we're going to go to the book of Psalms. Okay, now this is the book of Jeremiah. And now the book of Psalms, you may wonder what I'm doing here. This is Esdras. It also contains the Apocrypha, as many of these old, yeah, you see right here. It also contains the Apocrypha. It has a chronological index, table of time, offices and conditions of men. It has study guides. as many of these old, early, I tried to turn the page, Bibles do. I have another one that's not quite this old, but it's in like way better condition. I hardly ever get that one out. I hardly ever get this one out. It spends all of its time in the fireproof safe because it's already had enough damage. It's already had enough damage. Okay, now I'm looking for the book of Psalms, and you may wonder why I'm in the New Testament. Okay, because at the back of this Bible there are some tables, and what the table shows, or what it has, what I'm looking for, and I know it exists, I already bookmarked it right there, is the book of Psalms in meter, because the Psalms were the earliest songbooks that the earliest Christians, they didn't have songbooks like we have now. So they used the Psalms, and they chanted, sang, hummed, whatever you want to call it, the Psalms. And this right. Okay, so through the miracle of editing, we're going to try this again, and I'm going to try to hold it steady and in focus. Okay, we're going to start with Psalm 13 for the verse of the day. How long wilt thou forget me, Lord? Shall it forever be? Oh, how long shall it be that thou wilt hide thy face from me? How long take counsel in my soul? Still sad in heart shall I. How long exalted over me shall be mine enemy? O Lord my God, consider well, and answer to me make. Mine eyes enlighten, lest the sleep of death me overtake. Lest that mine enemy should say, against him I prevailed. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved and failed. But I have all my confidence thy mercy set upon. My heart within me shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will unto the Lord my God sing praises cheerfully, because he hath his bounty shown to me abundantly. All right, my friends, you have a good day.